make sure. All right, what's up, guys? I think we're live. We're good. How is everybody doing? Let's see if we can get some people up in here real quick. Watching the Peach Bowl right now, of course. That Music City Bowl was crazy, bro. That Music City Bowl was crazy. Yo, what's up, Drip? It's crazy that Pitt is really winning with their third string quarterback right now. Like, that is wild. Yo, what's up, Drake? How you doing, man? Like, it's one thing, like, Kenny Pickett's out. They still have Jordan Addison at wide receiver and everything. But then their second string gets hurt. And they're still winning. I mean, that was a huge scoop and score play. That's going to end up being a game changer. Because it made it a 2-possession game right now. Yeah, this game has been pretty lit. Or the Music City Bowl was crazy, man. I mean, that was such a good game, and then it ended so poorly. I mean, what was that? That was clearly a touchdown, and they blew it dead. They really blew that dead. I gotta tweet out the stream real quick. If I can figure out how to share it. Oh, there we go. Got the stream tweeted out. Let's go. Pretty good. Just got done wasting a half an hour of my time watching the VTech game, trying to see what Tavion Robinson looks like, just to look and realize he wasn't playing. Wow. Was that the VTech Maryland game? That game was just an absolute blowout. That was crazy. I did not expect Maryland to blow a team out in a bowl game. Oh, Michigan State almost just had a touchdown just now. Gotta try to set it up better to where I can still be looking at the chat while watching the game. He's the wideout. He's the wideout Kentucky went out and got after Taj decommitted. Oh, dang. Wait, did Taj decommit? Wait, is it Taj Harris, right? The transfer from Syracuse? Or someone else. Yo, what's up, AJ? It is freaking lit. I got the chat pulled up, kind of. I don't even know if that even looks good to you guys. But I got it pulled up in the side. Academic reasons, yeah. I did see gonna say. But one transfer I'm really excited to see where he goes is Zach Evans. Like, because Zach Evans has potential to be an NFL back, and whoever gets him is getting a steal in the transfer portal. Like, for real. I don't know why this happened last stream too. I keep getting these spam messages in the chat. Can I ban them? Can remove it. Alright. Guess that works. I don't know, guys. You think Michigan State's about to come back in this game? Or no? They're driving a little bit right now. Peyton Thorne, damn. He just got hit. But first and goal for Michigan State. Started the stream a little bit early because I wasn't doing nothing else, so I thought I'd hop on early. I am pumped for the playoffs tomorrow. I cannot wait to see what happens because I honestly have no idea. Like, I could see close games for both, and I could see blowouts for both. Like, especially the Georgia-Michigan game, I could see whoever wins, I could see it being a blowout, and also whoever wins, I could see it being close. So, that one has potential to go, like, anyway, and I have no idea which way it's going to end up going. Yes, I did see that. I reacted to that game and posted it this morning. That was so cool. I mean, it kind of shows me, like, I don't know how much we can really say about this, but Oklahoma's best game of the season came when Bob Stoops was the coach. And Lincoln Riley just couldn't get him to look that good all year. But Bob Stoops in one game, they played their best game of the year, by far. Going out with some buddies for the UC game, yo, that's lit. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, for the Cincinnati game. Yeah, that's lit. Yeah, that's lit. I'm going to be watching it probably at my mom's house, honestly. Gonna have a little New Year's Eve party and just watching the game. Yeah, I cannot wait to watch these two playoff games. This Peach Bowl it's fine, but if Kenny Pickett and Kenneth Walker III were playing, this game would be so much better. This game would be so lit. Honestly, though, I feel like if Kenny Pickett was playing right now, Pitt would be up by 2 more touchdowns. So I'm not sure if it would be as lit as I think it would, but it'd be a lot more entertaining because I like to watch like the star players in these bowl games because that's when the star players are supposed to show up most in the biggest games. You're like 15 minutes from the campus. Yo, that is lit. That is lit. I mean, I couldn't even imagine. I live, I could be at WVU's campus in under 10 minutes. I couldn't even imagine what it'd be like here if we would ever make a college football playoff game. It would be bonkers. Whenever we made the Final Four, it was 2010. I was 8 years old. 8 or 9. Or I might have just turned 9. Because around March Madness is my birthday. So, I was young, but I remember it being crazy. That was for basketball. The only time WVU has ever made it to a championship game was like in the 80s for football, at least. And yeah, just wasn't around for it, of course. Maybe one day. I mean, they absolutely shat the bed in the guaranteed rate bowl against Minnesota. I mean, we played awful. Yo, what's up? You're on with Danny. Call ended. Thought we had a caller. But yeah, we absolutely shat the bed against Minnesota. That was terrible. We only scored 6 points the damn game. Terrible. Reception drop. Dang. Pitt's pass rush has been going crazy, boy. Pitt has played some excellent defense. They just got another sack. I mean, that was great. Honestly, a great job from Peyton Thorne to hold on to that football because he had like 3 guys trying to knock it out. Oh, what a catch! Yo! Michigan State made it a 1-possession game. 21-17. What a catch from Connor Hayward. Dang. Still plenty of time. They could come back. I feel like they might because Pitt's offense has not been looking too good. They just have to, what's it called? They just have to give the ball to Jordan Addison. That's what they have to do if they want to win this game. Thoughts on the UCLA NC State situation? If you ask me, NC State was done. Absolutely wrong. I did not look too much into the details on that. I thought it was just canceled due to COVID outbreak. But was UCLA lying a little bit, or exaggerating, I should say? Or was there an outbreak and they just couldn't find NC State a new opponent? I don't know the details on it too much. I just know it got canceled. Which is weird because like the Wake Forest Texas A&M game, Texas A&M got COVID outbreak and they put Rutgers in there. So at least Wake Forest gets to play in a bowl game. That was such a dope catch, though, in this Michigan State game. He got hit right in the back and he held on to the ball. So, that was just a great play. Way to hang on to it. And he's all good and everything. UCLA waited 5 hours before kickoff to call it when it was... Oh, wow. Yeah, I knew that it got announced, like, right before the game, because, like, I was planning on watching it that day, and then I seen it got canceled, like, the day of, and I was like, what? But I did not know that UCLA themselves waited that long to let anybody know. I thought it just got released to the media that day. Like, I thought they had let them know before. That's really dumb, because if they wouldn't have waited that long, because I feel like they probably knew before, or they were waiting for, maybe they were waiting for some tests and were hoping they could play. But yeah, they gotta just cancel it, like, or opt out of it earlier, so then NC State can find a new opponent. Honestly, they should have. Well, I guess it's hard to do, But they could have at least maybe asked, NC State, you trying to, well, never mind. Guess that wouldn't work either. Who was that team who got canceled? Whose game got canceled? They replaced them with a MAC team, one of those Eastern Michigan or someone. I forget. Maybe they could have put NC State in that game. I was gonna say they could replace Texas A&M with NC State, but that doesn't make any sense because they're both ACC teams, right? So let me actually check. Who was that team who got replaced by like Eastern Michigan or someone? Oh, yeah. It was the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Miami got the COVID. Of course, they're in Miami. And replaced them with Central Michigan to play Washington State. So they could have put maybe NC State in that one to face Washington State or something. Ask USC to take their spot. Yeah, they could have. I mean, a 5-7 team, and they did the same thing with Rutgers. Rutgers 5-7, so it would make sense. They're both in the LA area. Makes sense. But if they wait 5 hours before, I mean, I guess they could have moved the game back or something, but it would just be like a whole mess, because then you'd have to tell the people who bought tickets to the game that it's pushed back, everything. Like the rant Bart Scott did on ESPN about Burrow was ridiculous. Why was he ranting about Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow's been having a really good year. I mean, the Bengals are looking like they're going to be in the playoffs. I haven't seen it. It is lit. Yo, what's up, Al Squire? Good afternoon to you too, man. Good afternoon. How hyped are you for the game tomorrow? I'm super hyped for the playoffs. My team's not even in them. My team probably never be in them, but throwing late in the game, wow, a big. I mean, why does he have to go? Why is he ranting about that though? Unwritten rules, you can call it whatever. You're not supposed to throw the ball late in the game when you're winning by so much. Whatever, man. If there's time on the clock, play the game. That's how I look at it. That's the NFL. It's not participation awards. It's not Little League. Come on. And Little League, sure, you don't want to embarrass kids. It's the NFL. Everybody's getting paid to play. I say play football if there's time on the clock. Just something for him to rant about, I guess. Slow news day for him. Slow news day. Had to complain about something. But essentially putting a bounty on his head. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no point in doing it. There's no point in ranting about that. Like, it makes no sense. Like, He's playing football. That's what he gets paid to do that. Kind of dumb to me. Like, come on. What is going on tonight? Is there something happening and some team is laying down? What do you mean? What do you mean is some team laying down? Oh, dang. Michigan State just got a stop on 3rd and 1. And it looks like Pitt is going to punt it back to Michigan State down by... Well, Michigan State is going to get the ball down by 5 with 6 minutes left. So, all the momentum is with Sparty right now. He's a former linebacker. And yeah, he should know, right? Like, exactly. Like, if you don't want him to throw, I agree with you. Don't let him put over 500 yards on him. Because, like I said, it's an NFL team, you know. We're not about to go easy on you. Like, that to me is just a dumb rant. Player hating or just something to rant about one or the other, you know. Of course, I don't know why anyone would hate Joe Burrow. He's cool. He's a cool dude. It is lit, though, because we got a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel. We're going to do reaction videos to both the playoff games. They'll be out New Year's Day. And I ordered a couple stuff for the videos to make them better. Coming in the mail. So, a lot of good stuff. I'm just like really grinding this YouTube. And I'm very excited. This year is a very good example of why an extended playoffs would be needed. Yes, completely agree. Completely agree. I mean, with the opt-outs, and I understand, because they don't want to risk losing millions of dollars because they played in a bowl game that really, I mean, they should mean more, but they don't. And if they extend the playoff to 12 teams, you then have more bowl games that are, affiliated with the playoffs. So, therefore, they have more meaning. And the players would then actually play in the games, like the star players. I mean, I'm watching the Peach Bowl. The Peach Bowl is a New Year's Six bowl. And each team's best player is opted out. Kenny Pickett for Pitt, Kenneth Walker III for MSU. Like, it's crazy that they're opting out of a New Year's Six bowl. Yo, what's up? You're on with Danny.
Hey, man, what's good?
What's up, man?
What do you think about the Packers?
Packers. I mean, they're really good. They have been past few years. Yes, they are. You think this is their year, finally? Get out of the NFC Championship?
Man, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I think Tommy's got to get the ball more. Tommy's got to get your team, bro.
The Giants, sadly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're terrible. I'm used to it, man.
I don't know, dude.
Hopefully we'll draft a quarterback. That's all I can say. That's all you have to that's all we have to be optimistic about.
I don't know anything about football, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, alright. You're good.
We'll figure it out.
Alright. Oh, you can't hear the caller? Well, that's alright, because it was just somebody messing around that hopped in the stream. But, hey, actually helped me out a little bit, because now I can adjust the volume. Is that the volume? I think that is the volume for the caller. Turned it up. So it should be better now for next caller. Alright. That was probably the guy who called. Let's see. Thank you, Drake. Let me get back up into the chat. Alright, all the opt-outs and things like this, it looks like the trend is now if a team doesn't make the playoffs, the players opt out. Teams give half efforts, etc. Yep, I agree, completely agree. That's what I was kind of saying. Like, why are the two best players in this Peach Bowl not playing? Like, it's a New Year's Six Bowl. It should have meaning, even though it's not a playoff game. Tubby Smith is returning to Rupp Arena Friday and is having his jersey retired. Yeah, that's lit. Definitely deserves it. Bowl games used to be the big goal of most major programs, and their shots, the up-and-comers worked all summer and the season to get a shot at a major program. Yeah, I mean, bowl games used to have a lot more meaning, and they still should. You know, it's crazy. Hold on, the chat is going crazy with these bans. We gotta ban these people. How do I? There we go. Add user on the channel. Alright. Now, whatever they're spamming, it won't show up for anyone. So, sorry about that, guys. Think I got them all banned, or where nobody can see any of their messages. I don't know how they found my stream. Alright. I got him out of here. I don't know how those people found my stream. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Drake. I mean, I honestly have never had to ban someone from the chat like that. So I had to figure it out. But I guess I can just hide them from my channel so then no one can see what they say. So, pretty easy. that is the one downfall of just putting your number up on the stream. But yeah, back to what we were talking about. The bowl games just don't have too much meaning anymore like they used to. I mean, it used to be you make a bowl game, let's go. I mean, the last game of the year, let's get this win, you know. Let's get a ring, because no matter what bowl game you're in, you get a ring. And another idea I've had that could be controversial, I want to hear your guys' opinion on it too, is along with extending the playoff to 12 teams, make it to where you have to win 7 wins, or you have to win 7 games in the regular season to make a bowl game, because I think 6-6 teams in bowl games, that could kind of get pushed out, which leaves a little bit less bowl games, but still enough bowl games to where you get them all Christmas, New Year's season, you know. And yeah, I mean, I think if you leave it to where 7 and 5 teams and higher make bowl games, then it may increase the amount of people who actually want to play in all these bowl games. As I was trying to say, Iowa hasn't named a starting quarterback yet. Oh, they haven't. So Spencer Petras might not be starting. That could be good or bad for both teams. You'd think that these guys would want to use an extra scout day, make a bowl game, and you got an extra month of practice and a big boost in recruiting. Yeah, that is true. You'd say eight wins. Yeah, I mean, I think that could be good. I mean, 7 and 5. Does a 7 and 5 team really deserve to be in a bowl game? Because if we make that could be a big problem with why people aren't playing in them as well. Is like, it makes it a little bit less prestigious if 6-6 teams are making making bowl games, and then your team's 9-3, not in the playoffs, but still not even in a New Year's Six bowl, and you're playing in something like the Cheez-It Bowl, and it just feels less prestigious because you're playing in a similar type bowl game as a team that went 6-6, and I think 8 is probably a good number. I'd be fine with 8. Yeah, I wonder who Iowa is going to start at quarterback. I mean, Petras really isn't that good, so I think you being a Kentucky fan, Drake, you probably would want Petras to start. Plus, for the guys going to the draft, can use it as to leave a mark and boost their draft stock. Yeah, I think that it comes to a big play. I mean, I think that if you're going to opt out for the draft, then you better be a guaranteed first rounder, because I think that if you're not a guaranteed first rounder, you should want to play in the bowl game and increase your stock. Honestly, I mean, I know even if you get drafted in like the 6th, 7th round, you're still getting paid. And you don't want to risk getting the bag, but come on, man. I mean, you played all year long. Why are you sitting out this last game? The one that you've been playing all season for. 16 starts to add too many games. Exactly, bowl games can make up for an average season for good to great players. Yeah. Note 7 and 5 means 40 to 45% of teams in the NCAA make bowl games, and it becomes what the bowl games are right now. Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. 8 and 4 would be even better. I just kind of wanted to say 7-5, baby steps, but yeah, definitely not 6-6 teams. I think 8 and 4 and up makes more sense, because you could play a really trash non-conference schedule, right? So say you have 3 non-conference games on your schedule, 3-0, and they're all, you got an FCS team, you got a bad team from the MAC, and one other decent team non-conference. 3 wins, 3-0, and then you go the rest of your games. You got 9 games left if you don't make a conference championship. Then you can only win. You could go 3-6. Wait, no. I don't even know what to say. Yeah, you could go 3-6 in your conference games and still go 6-6 and make a bowl. Like that should not happen. Yeah, I was making sense. I just had to talk to myself and talk it out. Can anyone remember a player who was a decent draft pick that a bowl game threw them out of the draft? I can't, but I can't remember a really good player getting hurt in a bowl game and then not getting drafted because of it. So I actually can't. I can't name any of them. I can't name any player who hurt their draft stock so bad in a bowl game or got hurt in a bowl game and didn't get drafted because of it. I can't think of anyone. Where do you think Wan'Dale Robinson goes? I think second. I saw someone saying Will Levis would be a top 10 quarterback in this draft class. I'm not sure about Will Levis. I mean, I think he could have a little bit more potential of getting better. I don't know about top 10. I don't think so. Not in my opinion. But Wan'Dale Robinson, I could see him probably at the highest going second round. I say second to third round, fourth at the latest. No later than fourth round draft pick. Maybe get rid of several of the lower tier bowl games and make getting into the playoffs a very big accomplishment and big deal. I can't either, and it's a big excuse that is thrown out all the time. Yeah, I think that they should have to play in these bowl games. Like, the opting out, it's really hurting college football, and I really do think the way to fix it is to extend the playoffs. If you have a 12-team playoff, top 4 teams get a bye, right? So you're going to have 8 other teams. That's 4 bowl games in the first round. Second round, you'll have 4 more than 2. So that's like, what, 12 bowl games? You have 12 bowl games? Or no, 6. My math right now is going crazy. Hold on. So, yeah, you'd have 4 bowl games to start. That eliminates 4 teams. Then you have 4 more. I don't know. Anyway, it increases the amount of bowl games that you'd play in for the playoffs, right? And which therefore makes those bowl games more prestigious, makes them have meaning for everyone, all the top players to play in them. Because I really do think a 12-team playoff this year would be amazing, because then the last team that would make the playoff would be Pitt. And that's perfect. They're a conference champion, everything like that. And then the top 4 teams, they still get their reward because they get a bye game in the first round. So, yeah. Michigan State did score. I missed it with all the stuff that's happening with the chat, with those spammers. But, yeah, Michigan State's in the lead right now, 24-21, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. Expand the playoffs to 12, make teams win 8 games to be bowl eligible. All players should be required to play at least the first half. Then, if they're struggling, you can pull. That's what I'd do. Yeah, I think that's really what you have to do in order to save college football, because college football is a sport that, the fans of the sport, college football, love it so much. And we just want to see these kids play hard, play in the games, That's what we want to see. We want to see the best teams go at each other at the end of the year for a bowl game, and at their best. We want to see them at their best. And no doubt everyone who's on the field is going to be playing hard. No doubt whatsoever. They're going to be playing hard. But we want to see the best players on the field. Makes the bowl games a big prize and major recruiting pitch. It would also give teams just on the outside a big goal for next season. Yeah, I think to save college football, this is what they need to do. They need to make it a 12-team playoff. Then make it to where you need to win 8 games to become bowl eligible. Then they need to, maybe add like an extra incentive for the star players. Like, no matter what, the star players should play in the playoffs if they make the 12-team playoff, because if they don't, then that's a little weird. But they should be playing in those playoff games. But other than that, outside the bowl games that for the 8, 9, 10 win teams that don't make the playoffs, I think you can add an incentive for the star players, maybe like some sort of commercial during the bowl games that kind of give them some money, maybe an incentive to play. I mean, it's tough that you have to do that, but that may be an extra thing they could add. The first half, I can see a flurry of soccer injuries for some of the good players that don't really care about the Birmingham Bowl or the Liberty Bowl. Yeah, I mean, we seen it today. I did see a lot on Twitter today that the NCAA might be trying to crack down a little bit on these players faking injuries. I mean, I don't know if you guys watched the Music City Bowl today, but Purdue and Tennessee, both had some cramps, whatever, fell down on the field, faked a few injuries, stopped the momentum of the other team. And, a lot of teams have been doing it all year long, but that was the first time I've really seen it this bowl season, like very noticeably. And, teams are using it as a strategy, which I don't blame them, because there's there's nothing else they can really do about it. But I guess the NCAA is starting to talk about some way to help prevent that a little bit. I love the 2020 season in the SEC because the league got rid of the Mercer type games in the SEC played each other. Yeah, I think that it's tough because, you want to give these FCS teams a chance to go again. Well, not really, but because, yeah, I think non-conference games, I'd like to see something like a cool idea would be, I've seen, Michigan State just got another touchdown here with 23 seconds left, and they're going to win. So, Michigan State, Sparty is winning the Peach Bowl. But like I was saying, the idea I had before is for non-conference games, do it kind of like how college basketball does it sometimes. You know how they'll have like a SEC Big 12 challenge game? Make that like your third game right before conference play. Have SEC ACC challenge, have a Big 12, Pac-12 challenge where, they go at each other. That would be pretty dope. I would definitely tune in for that. But then, that kind of messes things up, because what if those teams there at the end have similar records, and they might have to play against each other again in a bowl game. But I think it's well worth it. I think playing FCS teams, and teams will pay, the big schools will pay FCS teams to come get beat up. It's crazy that happens, but yes, that's exactly what you're typing. Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope if they if they use that for football. Quality games and build conference loyalty across the country. Yeah. It would be awesome, man. And then we'd really know who is the best conference. It's usually the SEC, pretty blatantly, but we'd know pretty much kind of who the best conference is before the end of the year, or have a good idea of it. All Power 5 teams should be required to have 2 Power 5 out of conference games. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm really excited for my team's schedule up and coming, because we play our 2 biggest rivals in our non-conference games. And to open up the year, we are playing Pitt. West Virginia versus Pitt. Backyard Brawl is back. I'm very excited. I'm going to Pittsburgh, and I'm going to be at that game. It's going to be lit. I'm very excited. It's the first time we're playing Pitt in football in I don't know how many years, but it's been a while since the Backyard Brawl has been here, and it is back. I'm very excited. And then we play VTech. We play Virginia Tech again. We played them this year, but that's our other rival. So I'm excited, because I don't want to watch us, play Tolson or someone dumb. Someone get the NCAA on the phone immediately. We have some solid ideas here. Facts. We need the commissioner of college football right now. Let's get him on the phone, man. In fact, give me all the conference leaders. Let's get them in a group call and give them this idea. We need the athletic directors in here to make the schedules. Let's let us make the schedules for every team. You need to check out Kentucky's schedule then. Hell yeah, man. I'm very excited for this next season of college football. I'm really hoping that WVU starts our new freshman quarterback coming in. He's a 4-star, because I'm so tired of Jared Dakey. I'm really hoping that we start our freshman. Let me move that over a little bit. Bowl game rings, pay them, put them into a raffle if they play for like a GAR or something, but they can only get them if they play those. Yeah. Let me know if you guys would enjoy this, but I'm thinking, we have a long time until, opening week of college football next year. But depending on how many subscribers I have, if I grow, I might be doing a vlog where I vlog me traveling over to Pittsburgh, going to the WVU Pitt Backyard Brawl rivalry game. And, I'm thinking about doing that for a video. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but it depends on how many subs I have at the time. If we can grow, then I'll probably make it happen. That's crazy that Michigan State really came back. I had a feeling that they were. Mel Tucker is a really good coach, but you'd be down. I like that idea. Bet. Yeah, I mean, the goal is at this point, try to get 1,000 subs first. I'm gonna try to grind my butt off. We'll see how much we have around come September, and if we have a good following, I'll probably vlog it. It'll be a cool little vlog. I can drive to Pittsburgh and be there in just over an hour, so it's gonna be fun. There's a guy from Knoxville that is a huge Miami fan who did a live stream this year for the Bama game. That was exactly the same idea you just had, Danny. Oh wait. Who did a live stream this year for the Bama game and this. Oh dang, that's awesome. Yes, they have the same idea about like the conference challenge games. Is that what you mean? Don't know how to feel about our schedule. Out of conference is Miami of Ohio, Youngstown State, and Northern Illinois all at home. Wish they were at Miami of Ohio. I'm only an hour from them. Yeah. So you got two games that should be got two MAC conference games. Youngstown State should be a gimme. And Miami of Ohio is decent, but that should be a dub. Northern Illinois is nice though, so that might actually be a good game. But yeah, you live streaming for the Pitt game. You talking about the one that you just played? I mean, that's not really the reason I'm live streaming. I was watching it in the background. Now I got the Wisconsin-Arizona State game on. Bama played Northern Illinois. Yeah, terrible game. Same with Mercer and New Mexico State for the deaf and blind. Yeah, that's a slaughter, man. I'm going to take a look at Wvu schedule next year. I know we play Pitt, then we play some FCS team or someone not that good, and then we play Virginia Tech. We have VTech. Virginia Tech and Pitt are both on the road. So, actually, I'm not going to look at the rest of our schedule. It's just going to be Big 12 games and stuff. I know who we play. That was crazy. Think it would be cool. I mean, if my channel's doing really well, I'll go to the Virginia Tech game as well, because I can be in Blacksburg. It's probably like 3 hours driving, which is kind of far, but if the channel's really popping, I'll do it. But I'm definitely going to Pittsburgh for the game. What do I think about WVU being in the Big 12? I don't like it. I think we should be in the ACC. I would love if we were in the ACC, man. All of our rivals are in the ACC. Pitt, Virginia Tech being the main two. But, we don't like teams like Syracuse, Louisville. We hate those teams. Those are old Big East rivalries. So that's where I'd prefer to be. I don't like us having to go to Texas every other week. But it is nice that we are at least getting Cincinnati is joining the Big 12, so we won't have to travel far for them. Who else is joining the Big 12? BYU, Houston, and Central Florida. So BYU is actually going to be the furthest one we'll have to travel to. Like, we'll have to go to Utah every other year. I mean, that's across the country. Just going off quick glance, I have us going 9-3 again, losing to Georgia, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. Yeah, I think that's probably pretty accurate. Mississippi State I feel like Mississippi State is going to be really nice next year. And Ole Miss, with Lane Kiffin, I don't know who they're going to have in there at quarterback, but after Matt Corral, but Ole Miss is probably going to be good again, for real. I agree. I think the Big 12 is a terrible idea, but I understand why it happened. Yeah, we went to the Big 12 because when the Big East collapsed, we really had nowhere else to go because the ACC didn't want us because of academic reasons. Not the best academic school. So I guess that's the reason why, but that's what I've heard, at least around the area. But I guess the Big 12 was the one who wanted us because they were desperate. We were desperate. They just lost. Whenever we joined the Big 12, they lost Missouri, A&M, Colorado, and Nebraska. So they were down to 8 teams, and then we joined with TCU. So they were desperate. We were desperate because we couldn't find a Power 5 conference to join. It was tough. But yet I could see us going 11-1 and lose to Georgia. Yeah, I could. I think that's probably the best case scenario. We'll see what Georgia's like next year. They're gonna be nasty. I know Georgia's gonna be nasty next year. I mean, have you guys seen their recruiting class? Alabama has a good recruiting class as always. Georgia, I think A&M has a really good recruiting class this year. But yeah, I think best case scenario is probably 11-1, Drake, for Kentucky. Way too big of an area. No way to build regional loyalty. Yeah, it's just like the entire Midwest, and then it's just I completely agree. I don't like I hate being in the Big 12. I wish we'd leave today. I really do. Layton always seems to find the gems. Yes, he does. I think Kentucky has the potential to be a really good team. I think so too. I mean, Mark Stoops has shown he's going to be a really good coach, or is a really good coach, and Kentucky has a pretty good recruiting class this year. So, yeah. A&M has the best class in the country. I did see that. Which is crazy. Jimbo out there doing, pulling in people, man. For real. A&M brought out the big guns, major donors to recruiting in line with all the money they have. Yeah. Yeah, Jimbo is making good use of that money, and he's recruiting really well. Kentucky has number 11. That is really good for Kentucky, man. Kentucky is a good place to build a football program for Mark Stoops as well because, Kentucky's not known to be a football school. They're known to be a basketball school, but they're in the best football conference in the country, so that can draw big names. If you have a 9-win season like they did this year and you play in the best conference, you're going to be playing against the top competition. That can draw in people, man. that's awesome what he's building there for real. Plus, with Texas and Oklahoma moving to the SEC, A&M had to make their move now and get ahead of this before A&M gets left behind. Yeah, I think so too. And it's crazy to me that I don't know how Texas and Oklahoma are going to do in the SEC. Like Texas just went 4-8, right? 4-8 in the Big 12. Like, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oklahoma might do all right. I think Brent Venables is a good hire. It's a really good hire because he's a defensive guy. They need to recruit some defense at Oklahoma, for real. It's going to be crazy. Kentucky really has done well and built on their success. You're also a Kentucky fan? Yeah, that's lit. Yeah, I got a lot of Kentucky fans up here on the channel. I have a lot of Wake Forest fans, surprisingly, on the channel as subscribers, so that's pretty cool. A lot of bunch of other random teams, but two of the most ones I've seen here from my subs, I have a lot of Wake Forest fans and Kentucky fans on the channel. Texas is going to get stomped in the SEC. Yeah. No disagreements there. I don't think they're going to do very good at all. With the money Texas have, Ivy League type money, Texas has the potential to be really good or have paid some I mean Texas always has the potential to be very good because like all the top recruits that come out of Texas, like they want to play for Texas. And Texas just has that name, you know. They're a huge brand name even when they're losing. That they still can get top recruiting classes year after year and have the talent, but you know they fire their coach every couple years and never able to really build something good there. So it'll be interesting to see how they do in the SEC. I think eventually, you know, Texas is going to have a good year. How soon that is, I don't know. Just because, you know, they're Texas, they're gonna do good eventually with all the talent they bring in. It's been fun to watch Kentucky get their program off the ground. I'd love to see Kentucky versus Texas. Yeah, that would be a really fun game. I think Kentucky would beat them pretty handily if we're talking about their teams that they had this year. USC is the exact same as Texas in national appeal. Yeah, USC gets all the top California recruits. And bringing Lincoln Riley in there, I mean, all those top West Coast quarterbacks are gonna want to play there now. Especially for Lincoln Riley because, you know, he's known to be a quarterback guy. And he's produced Heisman winners, so. Wisconsin's up on Arizona State 7-0 early. Wisconsin's got some really good defense, so I could see them losing by a good bit. Josh Ali is going to miss the bowl. He had knee surgery last week. Dang. Is he coming back next year? That's tough. But what do you think about the Citrus Bowl, Drake? Think Kentucky's gonna pull out the win? I think they will. I think they'll beat Iowa. I don't know though. Like Iowa's like sneaky. They're sneaky. They're like Wisconsin, but their defense isn't as good as Wisconsin. But you know, they do have a good defense. They play that Big Ten type football where it's just hard sometimes to play against, but they're gonna want to run the ball, play good defense. How do you feel about Knicks to Oregon, Rattler to South Carolina? I think Rattler to South Carolina is going to be really good. Shane Beamer has done a really good job this year at South Carolina. I think them winning the Mayo Bowl today kind of showed that as well. Like, I do think Rattler is going to. I don't know because he's going to go up against SEC competition. I think he will play better than he has been. I think it's a solid pickup for South Carolina, and I think they're going to have a really good year next year. I think eight wins could be realistic for South Carolina next year, honestly, in the SEC. Shane Beamer's really built something there in the short time, his short tender there. Knicks to Oregon is funny. Yeah, I don't know if Bo Nix is going to start. That's the one that, I don't know. Don't know enough about Iowa. They're favored by like 1. I think we can pull it out. Yeah, I'm interested to see that game. I hope it's a good game. You remember his dad's playing. Yeah, didn't Bo Nix's dad play for Auburn and also his brother or his uncle or someone? A lot of Nixes played for Auburn, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna start for Oregon. I think they have a backup, or their backup this year. His name Ty Thompson, I think. Really good recruit. I think he could be the starter at Oregon next year. They might have a little quarterback battle there at Oregon. But yeah, I don't think Bo Nix is really all that good. He's alright. He'll do, if he was starting, he'd probably do better at Oregon than he did Auburn, but just because he's not going up against SEC defenses. Instead, he's going to be playing Pac-12 teams who we saw Pac-12's just not very good, especially this past year. South Carolina, October 8th. That will be a good game. Shane Beamer is building something nice there, man. I see the Gamecocks as a sleeper team for next year being pretty good. I just hope people don't overrate them out the gate because of Spencer Rattler, because I don't think that it's going to be Spencer Rattler that's going to take them to that next level. Like, he's going to help because he's better than whoever they got there now. But, Shane Beamer is really the one who's building what they have going there. He's done a great job. It's funny Lincoln Riley ran from the SEC while Spencer ran to the SEC to one of the more meh programs. Yeah, I mean, I do think that Lincoln was kind of running a little bit, which is really funny, honestly. I mean, no matter what, he can run all he wants. If he does end up making the playoffs ever with USC, then he's probably going to have to play SEC team in either the semifinal or the championship. Think about how college football has changed. You could have imagined Miami, Tennessee, Florida, Florida State, to name a few teams that have been major programs and are now basement dwellers. Auburn, another, yeah. I mean, Auburn not as bad as the others. Florida, not as bad as the others either, but yeah, especially Miami and Tennessee. Those are the big ones. Like, they have really gone downhill. And do you guys see the Tennessee game today? They got robbed. They absolutely got robbed. That was crazy. Man was not down at all. Reached for the touchdown and they called it they whistled it dead for forward progress. Like, why would they whistle that dead? And also, he crossed the plane before the whistle was blown. At least from what you could hear on TV. The whistle was not blown whenever he crossed the plane. Which is crazy, bro. The refs really sold that game hard. And it was a great game. Yeah, Tennessee used to be a major national power. Like, they used to be fighting to be in the SEC championship every year, you know? Or being in it. But now, just no. They're not. So we got, what games are on tomorrow? I know the playoff games are on tomorrow. Are there any more? I think there are a couple. And then the New Year's 6 games are being played New Year's Day, if I'm not mistaken. Get a bowl schedule here. Let's see. Okay, so Wake Forest Rutgers is at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Wow. I wish A&M was playing in it, man. It'd be so much better. Washington State, Central Michigan, blah, blah, blah. So really the only good games on tomorrow are the playoffs. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm very excited for him. Let's see if Alabama, will they go back to back? I really like this recruiting class we have. Just wish we got a 3 or 4 star quarterback for when Levis leaves. We got the number 1 kicker in the country, though, Evan McPherson. The kicker the Bengals drafted in the 5th round this past draft. His brother signed with Auburn. Yeah, I remember McPherson. That is lit. Y'all got the number 1 kicker. Yeah, it would be nice if you guys got another 3 or 4 star quarterback coming in, but yeah, y'all got a really good class, number 11 ranked. I'm pretty sure WVU's class is ranked 28th or 29th, which is decent. Let me see where we're at. Texas A&M number 1, Bama 2, Georgia 3, Ohio State 4, Texas 5, Penn State 6, Notre Dame 7, North Carolina has the 8th best recruiting class. Wow. 9 Michigan, 10 Oklahoma, 11 Kentucky, 12 is Missouri. Okay, Missouri. We see you. WVU's is... Oh, we fell back, man. We're 32nd. That's not that great. I thought we were in the top 30. At least. We were, but we had a couple people decommit. Here's my Bama versus Cincy score. I'm calling Bama for the win, 34-13, win the game over mid-third. I mean, it's probably realistic. I'm thinking about betting the Bama minus 13.5 because it could be easy money, honestly. I mean, we've seen this type story in these semifinal games before, like Bama versus Washington is an example. I do think that Cincinnati is better than that Washington team, though. But we'll see. I don't know. I could see it being a little bit closer within 10. But even then, I don't know. I think Bama's going to win for sure, though. The score is what's getting me. I think when I did my score prediction vid, man, what did I call that? I think I had Bama winning by 10. This is Levis's senior year, so we needed someone, unless Stoops plans to try to snip someone in the transfer portal again. I mean, he could. I did see that there is a 4-star quarterback out of Incarnate Ward, which is a FCS school. And he's a 4-star, though. He's in the portal, probably looking to make the jump to FBS. I mean, maybe he can find a home there in Lexington. Yo, what's up, Shansta? I can see Bama breaking Cincy's will early, yet I could also see Cincy hanging around late. Yeah, that's really going to tell the story, you know. Is Alabama... You can kind of tell, like, by halftime. We will know by halftime of this game how it's going to go. Like, if Alabama goes all gas early and is up 21-0 before the half, then we're going to know the direction of this game. But if it's hanging around there, you know, a low-scoring game, 10-10, 10-13, around halftime, we might be in for a good game. I'm hoping it's close because I just, selfishly, I want to see a close game. I think Saban decides to run clock and save players for the national championship game. Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I did talk about one of the keys, I honestly think so, for Alabama is to run the football with Brian Robinson because John Mechie's not playing. It is a factor, but Alabama still, you know, Jamison Williams, and has so many great wide receivers always on the depth chart that it probably won't make too much of a difference, but it will make a little bit of a difference just because John Mechie is a difference maker. But I do think that running the ball with Brian Robinson is key because Cincinnati has Kobe Bryant and Sauce Gardner at corners, which could slow down. I don't know if it can stop Bryce Young, Jamison Williams in the passing game. It probably won't be able to stop completely, but maybe slow down the passing game. But if they can run the ball hard with Brian Robinson and then open up some play-action shots, I think that's key for Bama. Jerome Ford came out and said that he's tired of being known as the Bama transfer. I mean, yeah, good for him. I mean, he's had a hell of a year. So he shouldn't be known as just the Bama transfer. But it is interesting to see, like, you know, how he's going to play against his old team. I mean, he's played amazing football. So he's tough, man. I missed one. What do you think about the Georgia versus Michigan game? This is going to be a very good matchup. It reminds me a lot of the Clemson versus Ohio State game. Yeah, it reminds me of that too because that Clemson-Ohio State game was probably the best semifinal playoff game of the playoff era. It was great to see Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields in that game. And I think that this has similar vibes to it. You know, like, it's going to be a close one. These two teams are going to go at it. But instead of them both having top-tier quarterbacks, it's like Georgia and Michigan have top tier defenses, and it's going to be very cool to watch because the interesting matchup about Michigan Georgia, the biggest takeaway for me is, okay, Michigan, they have Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum's going to be playing. Crazy good running back duo. They've been running the ball super well all year long. Then you have Georgia, who no one's been able to run the ball on them. Alabama did the best at running the ball against them, and they still didn't do like amazingly well. So that is the biggest factor to me. Like, can Michigan get any type of run game going against Georgia? And I don't know. It's going to be cool to see. But, you know, Alabama, they got that formula out there of how to beat Georgia, and it's throw the deep ball. And Michigan can do that. They can't do it as often as Bama or as good as Bama. So we'll see about that. The Cincy game reminds me a lot of Bama versus Washington game a few years ago. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, we've seen this story before. I could see it going very south for Cincinnati, but I could also see them hanging in there a little bit. It'll be fun to see how they play. I do think that this Cincinnati team is better than that Washington team, but how much better is the question. I don't think it's like that significantly better than that Washington team. Saban decided to run clock in that game also. Also in the Notre Dame game last year, they took their foot off the gas. Yeah, I mean, they destroyed Notre Dame. Is Kobe Bryant changing his number? Yes, he is changing his number from 9 to 8, I'm pretty sure, to honor Kobe Bryant the best way. Which is awesome. Yeah. I think it's a great tribute that he's going to be wearing number 8 in the playoff game. Awesome to see. I love it. Bama has got some freshman wide receivers that are incredible. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. You know, John Mechie is, you know, such a good player that it is a factor that he's not playing. But the depth that Bama has at wide receiver, you know, they're like wide receiver university. You know, they just flooding out first round NFL picks at the wide receiver position. So yeah, they should be good. It shouldn't be like an extreme factor that Mechie's not playing. I read an article yesterday saying that if Ford had stayed at Bama, he would be getting playing time right now because of the injuries at running back for Bama that Bama now has. I can see Georgia versus Michigan being like the Georgia Clemson game. It could be. I think it is going to be very low scoring. I would be surprised if anyone scored over 21 points for either team. I would be very surprised. Yeah, but I think Jerome Ford would get some playing time at Bama right now if he was still there. I think so for sure. He's had a really good year. I think he's at like, this is off the top of my head. I don't know if I'm right, but I think he's at like 1,700 yards. He's got a lot of touchdowns too for the season. I think that if just Cincy hangs in there and helps them, yeah, it for sure helps them with recruiting. They're already having an amazing year. Plus, they're joining the Big 12, which Big 12 not the best conference, but it is Power 5. You know, that's going to help them with some recruiting. And just being undefeated, making the playoffs helps with recruiting too. But yeah, if they can hang in there at least, you know, late in the third quarter, maybe be within 2 scores at the end, that's going to look really good and help even more with recruiting for sure. I completely agree. Wisconsin just scored again, man. 14-3. Badgers. Alright, I'm caught up with the chat. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, boys, I'm back. Alright, Ford has 1,200 yards. Alright, I thought he had 1,700. I don't know what I was thinking. That is a lot of yards for college, but yeah, for any level. But 19 touchdowns is a ton of touchdowns. Yeah, like he's been having a crazy good year, for sure. I remember when Ford was recruited, he was a pretty high-ranked player coming out of high school. He unfortunately came in with Bama as when Bama has NFL caliber running backs. Yeah, Bama's always gonna have top-tier players, so it's tough for to get playing time. I mean, you got to be really the best to get playing time there at Bama, especially at the skill position levels, positions. Arizona State's unis are pretty clean, but I really do think Wisconsin's gonna keep killing them in this one. See if Jaden Daniels can get the Sun Devils a touchdown here. TJ Yeldon. But yeah, I mean, I think Jerome Ford's been having a crazy year. It'll be really cool. It's going to be really, really cool to see how he plays against his former team, and I'm very excited. What is it with the Arizona teams? They always seem to get hyped and then end up being average or below average by the end of the season. You're not wrong. I mean, Arizona was terrible this year. I mean, they didn't even get a win this year, right? Absolutely terrible. Arizona State was really Arizona State was really hyped up this year. Like, everyone was talking about they could win the Pac-12, and they were the biggest comp for Oregon.
but that just ended up being not true at all. I mean, they went 8-4, but in a Pac-12 conference, it's just not very good. So, and they also play a non-conference schedule that's not even that good either. So they get a couple of free wins in there. Arizona State was super overrated going into this year, so I completely agree. TJ Yeldon was really good. Yes, he was very good. He was an Auburn lock right up until signing day. I did not know that. That's crazy. That he switched up to the rival school like that. That's pretty. I could see him having a revenge game. Wonder what. Yeah, I could see Jerome Ford having a revenge game for sure. Wonder what Arizona's recruiting class looks like. Although probably terrible, man. Definitely terrible. There's no way they have any top tier type recruits at Arizona. But their program just got ruined with a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's gonna take a lot to build it back up. A lot for their football program. Do you remember the name Derek Lassick? I do not know that name, actually. I'm about to look him up, though, in a second. Too much sun for Arizona teams bakes their brains. Yeah, I'm weak. I really love Derek Lassick. He played with Jay Barker on the 92 team. Interesting. See, I was not alive back then. Or I would probably know more about him. Let me look him up. Derek Lassick. NFL for the Cowboys. I'm assuming he played for Bama. Yes, he did. Okay, that was my way to age you up a little bit. I forgot the quarterback that year, but they beat Gino Torretta in Miami in '93. Yo, pretty good. Oh wow, look it up on 24/7 Sports. It's surprisingly not bad. Arizona's? Hold on, I want to look up Arizona's recruit class. Wow, are they nationally ranked 23rd? That's crazy. They have 4 4-stars coming in. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I mean, dang. Maybe Arizona's heading back into the right direction then. Well, we were thinking the same thing. I had the year wrong. I remember the Miami team and the teams before. Remember when Miami played Penn State and showed up to the press conference in shades and camo? They looked like they had just received parole. That is the most Miami thing. What's more Miami, showing up in shades and camo or being on parole? Probably pretty even. Yeah, I was expecting a 3-star to be their best too. Like, I did not expect them to get a couple 4-stars. Like, that is crazy. Then they got a better recruiting class than WVU. What the heck, man? That goes to show where we're at. Be thankful Rita Rod has left the state. Yes. I am thankful for that. But yeah, recruiting isn't everything. They need the coaching as well, yes. I don't even know who Arizona's coach is right now, to be honest. Arizona football coach. Jed Fish. He used to be part of the Rams. I guess he was Michigan's quarterback, wide receiver coach, 2016. This shows you how far college football has come. Once upon a time, Dennis Franzoni, I can't even pronounce it, left Alabama to go to Texas A&M. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Alabama becoming a powerhouse. Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I mean, they are the powerhouse of college football now. And my entire lifetime, Alabama, since I've started watching college football, Alabama was the powerhouse of college football. So I remember when Alabama came to Norman, I think Coyle was quarterback. They hung with Oklahoma very late in that game when Ronaldo Works did the magical run. Yes. Then the following year we went to Tuscaloosa and won a bit more comfortably, but the stadium was amazing. Yeah, that's awesome. You know why Bama became the powerhouse? One player. Which player was that? It's a couple that I'm trying to think of. Definitely can't wait to see what Kentucky does next year. If it wasn't for the midseason slump, I think we were New Year's Six bowl game. Yeah, I agree. I mean, after the Georgia game, he just had a couple of games after that where could have been W's and could have been in a New Year's Six. Brody lived 30 miles away from my house. My cousin called him Waterford because, like the Crystal, Brody seemed to get injured to the water cooler. Are we talking current powerhouse player or player from the past? He tore his ACL waltzing out of bounds. One player, Tim Tebow. Yeah, you're talking about the 2009 SEC championship. Tim Tebow was how Saban came to Bama. Oh. I thought we were talking about a player that played for Alabama that kind of brought him there. But yeah, Saban to Bama was crazy, man. He left LSU and built something great there at Alabama, for real. Yeah, I'm interested on the backstory on that as well. So Tim Tebow is actually the reason Saban came to Bama? Because I never really knew the true reason Saban did leave LSU for Bama. Mike Shula was Bama's coach. He spent 12 hours in Tebow's house the day before he chose Florida over Bama. Wow. The Tebow Gators team was full of monsters. Yeah, literally. That team was killer, man. With Aaron Hernandez on the team. I mean, he was nice in college for real, though. But that team was stacked, though, for real. They had a lot, like, I would love to see a documentary on that team because that Florida team had so many, like, interesting type people on it. And it was all led by Tim Tebow, like, and big Christian quarterback on, like, a team that just had so many interesting players on it. Like, I would love to see that documentary if it would ever came out. But you said he spent 12 hours in Tebow's house the day before he chose Florida over Bama. My goodness, man. So are you saying that, wait. Are you saying that he was fired because he didn't get Tim Tebow? Or was that a reason that he was fired? Shula has a horrible next year and fired. Bama turned to Rich Rod, and Rita said Tuscaloosa sucked. Bama went back to Jimmy Sexton and said, get Saban on the phone and tell him we were all in for him. Yeah, I mean, best thing that happened to Bama. I think we talked about it last stream. Al Squire was you guys not getting Rich Rod. Because we had Rich Rod here at WVU. He was good for us, but whenever he left, he was looking for, more money. Went to Michigan. Went downhill from there for him. But went crazily uphill for Nick Saban. He's became the best coach of all time in this decade's powerhouse. Yes, 12 hours. He had 3 meals and led the meal prayer twice. He was all in doing Tim Tebow's prayers, trying to get him on the team. But, that's commitment, you could say, at least, trying to get him. Pretty sure that's the highest requested documentary sports-wise. Yes, it has to be, man. If they came out with that documentary, it would do crazy sales. I was thinking about that too. A player that played for Alabama, however, everything Tim Tebow does is golden. Because Shula sucked and Bama got beat. Yeah. It was horrible thing to live through at the time, but at the time it sucked something. Wait, it was a horrible thing to live through at the time. But at the time it sucked something awful. But what came out of it was good because you guys got Nick Saban and created this dynasty. So what did come out of it ended up being an extremely positive thing for Alabama. Alabama lost to Utah in Nick Saban's first year. Hasn't looked back since, except 2014 Sugar Bowl, where my Sooners took it to them. I had to throw. 2014 Sugar Bowl, where my Sooners took it to them. I had to throw that in their 2018 college football playoff. I know. Oh, you're a Sooners fan. Oh, that is right, Sean. Yeah, I seen that you commented earlier on my reaction video. That's where I remember you from. Yes. I was wondering because when we were talking in the chat here, I just assumed you were a Bama fan, but you're an Oklahoma fan. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I remember you commented earlier on the reaction. Oklahoma has always been a good team. Oklahoma put the wood to Fran the next year when he was the first year at A&M. I think OU beat A&M like 77-10 or something crazy. They were taking a knee early fourth. Wow, that's crazy. Could have put up 100 on him if you're taking knees in the early fourth. Yo, what's up, Cats by 90? What do you think Cincinnati will need to do to stick with Alabama tomorrow? It's going to be really hard, especially for Cincinnati defensively. I think Desmond Ridder is going to have a really good game. Of course. He's going to have to avoid Will Anderson in the pass rush. He's going to have to make plays, big-time plays. Jerome Ford is going to have to make plays. A lot of offensive plays are going to be needed. Defensively, I think is like the hardest challenge for Cincinnati. They have to try to slow down Alabama early. They can't let it be they can't let Alabama get out to an early lead because you can't come back on Alabama like that. They're too well coached. They're too disciplined. They've been too good. I think it's going to be really tough, but I think Cincinnati's key. They gotta slow them down early and keep it close all the way to halftime and through the third if they want any chance, and they have to keep it close early. And defensively, I really do think Alabama is going to try to run the ball with Brian Robinson a lot, but you can't commit to it fully because, Bryce Young is the Heisman winner. Cincinnati's secondary is amazing. But I don't know if they can't be in man coverage the whole time and stack the box. They can't do that. Bryce Young's too good. Their wide receivers are too good. Jamison Williams too good. It's going to be really tough, but I think the main keys are to stop the big plays through the air, Try to get some stops early and keep it close throughout the first half. Don't let Alabama get out there too much ahead early. And, big games from Desmond Ridder and Jerome Ford are a must. Those would be my keys for Cincinnati. Ridder going to have the game of his life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. He's got to. Cincinnati playing 20 players on offense and defense tomorrow will keep them close. Yeah. That might have to be what they need to do, man. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be tough. Yes, it is. Definitely going to be tough. I hope it's a close game. I really want to see a good one. But I think that Cincinnati's secondary can hold the passing game in check. I think they can slow it down. I don't think they can stop it completely. But I do think that they can slow it down. And try to keep, at least if they give up some passing plays, try to keep it in front of them, man. You don't want to get the ball thrown behind you on these big-time plays and give up any big touchdowns. Can't let them get it out to an early lead, or it's too tough to come back on Bama after they get out there in front. Percy Harvin was nice. They beat my Sooners in the 2008 title game. Yes. Percy Harvin is a beast, man. I think Cincy has had a great year this year, and also last year. I think they need a bit deeper roster. I agree. Cincinnati, credit to them, man. First group of 5 team to make the playoff. They're a super good team. It's just they got to play Bama, and it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough. They are a great team, and they deserve to be in the playoff. They earned it. They're a really good team. I do believe that they are a top 4 team in the country. Even if they are the 4th best team in the country, I do think they are top 4. Alec Pierce is going to need to have a big game. Yes. Everyone on Cincinnati is going to have a really big game. I know people think that Alabama has a huge talent edge on Cincy, and to some degree that's true, but Cincinnati's players are probably 2 years older on average, and we probably have 8 to 9 NFL draft picks. Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I do think that there is no lack of talent for Cincinnati, but there is definitely some talent gap. You know, Alabama, they are a top recruiting class every single year. They're going to have the top talent. They are going to have maybe they're going to have a strength edge, you know, on Cincinnati as well. To what degree is what we're going to find out tomorrow. You know, is it to a huge degree, or is it a slight degree? You know, the strength difference and the talent difference, because if it's not to like a extreme degree, you know, Cincinnati may have a good chance, but it's going to take really good coaching, really good play by the entire team for Cincinnati. It's going to be tough for him. Michigan didn't work out very well for him. Neither did Arizona. Sorry, I realized I'm 3 minutes behind the video. That comment was irrelevant to anything going on right now. You're good, man. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be very hard for Cincinnati, and no doubt do they have NFL draft picks on their team. I mean, they have a really good team, but it's going to be tough. I think Cincinnati is a really good team. I hope that they do keep it close. I hope it doesn't turn into Alabama Notre Dame last year. I hope it doesn't turn into Alabama versus Washington. I hope it's a close one, but I'm still very excited for this game. I hope it just doesn't turn into a blowout early, because we see it time and time again. Alabama, you know, they go up 21-0 in the first quarter, and you're like, wow, the game's over that fast. And they need to keep everything in front of them, man. Don't try to get a few stops early, and I think Cincinnati has a chance to keep it at least close. Cincinnati is doing the right things to move into the top tier teams. for sure. I think a big tell this year, though, was Luke Fickell. Luke Fickell did not leave Cincinnati and go to a bigger program. He stuck with Cincinnati. They're going to be joining the Big 12. He's trying to build what he's got there. I mean, he's an Ohio guy. I know he wanted to coach at Ohio State. I think if he does leave, it's going to be somewhere out there in the East, in the Northeast. Watching Saban from the moment he arrived, he said one thing was above almost everything else: recruiting at the highest level, recruiting the high-level players, and starting to stack them up. It showed up fast from 07 to 08. Yeah. I mean, getting those top recruits is definitely a huge part. I mean, you gotta if you get those good players, you're in really good shape, man. Saban, the best football coach of all time. I think I would put him as the best. He's 100% the best college coach of all time. I'd say he's the best football coach in general of all time at any level. It's going to be a fun game coaching-wise. I think Luke Fickell and Nick Saban are two of the top 3 coaches in the country. I think Luke Fickell is up there. I would probably have him top 5. I don't know where in that top 5 I'd have him, but definitely. To be fair, though, Clemson has been recruiting at around the same level as Bama over the last 5 years. Yeah, Clemson has done an outstanding job coaching, recruiting, and Georgia now. Georgia is starting to pick it up now. This year they have like an entire defense that's going to be NFL draft picks. And their next class is going to be good as well. Very good. I think they're the 3rd ranked class and Alabama's 2nd. Texas A&M is 1st. So Texas A&M is going to have the best class this year, which is interesting to see for sure. But yeah, just going to give you guys, if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the chat right now, because I'm probably going to end the stream here at midnight in about 10 minutes. So, and we're going to do this next week. Stay tuned on the channel because I might be streaming on Wednesday or Friday next week instead of Thursday because I do coach a Little League 6th grade basketball team, and we have practices on Thursday nights. So it might be on Wednesday or Friday, but either way, we're going to be doing this stream once a week. So stay tuned for that, and let me know if you guys have any more questions as we go into our last 10 minutes or so of the stream. My big thing was having a great quarterback. Once they lost a great quarterback, the difference in recruiting compared to OSU, Georgia, and Bama really stands out. Yeah, I agree, man. Like, I think having a really good quarterback is like huge, and it can make your team up there. I mean, we've seen not so much this year, but the last few years, we had the Trevor Lawrences, the Joe Burrows, Justin Fields. We're all making the playoffs, and it really became like if you got one of the top quarterbacks in the country, like you were ship shape, man. Like, but this year we've really seen the defenses kind of go at it. I mean, Bryce Young, Heisman winner, he's made the playoffs, but Michigan and Georgia, yeah. They don't have the best quarterbacks, but they definitely have amazing defenses. My point is that recruiting classes aren't everything. Clemson wasn't anything special this year despite having some of the most talent. Yes, for sure. I think one problem with Clemson this year was their offense was really bad. One thing. Their defense was actually really good. You know, I'd say one of the better defenses in the country, but their offense was just really bad, man. Their play calling offense was just really bad. I think they're going to be better next year. But the main problem with Clemson, they don't use the portal. I mean, Dabo Swinney doesn't use the portal as much as he needs to. And if he used the portal and got those players out of it, the top guys that would probably go to Clemson to play. I mean, they can compete at a championship level. We've seen them win 2 national championships. Then I think it would help out Clemson a lot. He's got to get into the portal like all these other teams because it's becoming a significant part of college football. Call those A&M boosters and they can hook you up with your team. You can't from WV. I can understand what you're saying. Yeah. I wish we could get some of those A&M boosters here, but probably not going to be able to do that here. Mac Jones. Yeah. Getting that quarterback on me. Mac Jones is an absolute stud. I know several people from West Virginia, and I can't understand this thing they say. I'm weak. Yeah, it is stereotypical, but you know, yeah, some people you can't hear. More southern West Virginia, I'd say is where that's at. But yeah. Or just be a lineman and go to Texas and get $50,000 for 4 years. Yep. I mean, Texas has some good linemen, and you know, could be a huge reason why those 5 stars from Texas want to go to Texas. You know, especially with the now that they can get paid there. Yes, Alabama Nick Saban is from West Virginia, and so is Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher is from West Virginia. Nick Saban is from Fairmont, which is where I grew up at my mom's house. So Saban grew up Saban is from 15 minutes from me. Yeah, but Jimbo Fisher is also from West Virginia as well. Yeah, the thing you say, you can't really understand West Virginia people. Yeah, we have those people, but a lot of places do, you know. It's stereotypical for sure. Michigan or Georgia, it's tough, man. I picked Georgia whenever I did my predictions video a while ago, a couple weeks ago. And I think I might be leaning towards Michigan, man. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a crazy matchup. I don't know if Michigan can run the ball on Georgia, and Michigan's been running the ball so well all year. It is tough. That is a very good game. I'm very excited for it. I could see it going either way. But as far as betting picks, give me Michigan give me Michigan +7 all day long. I think it's +7.5 actually. So give me that spread for sure. But as far as for who's winning, it's tough. I'm 50-50 really on it. You didn't know Jimbo was from West Virginia? Yeah, Jimbo is from Clarksburg, West Virginia, which is 45 minutes away from me. It's really close. West Virginia reminds me of the South. Good, down, home people. Yeah. I live in Morgantown, West Virginia. Born here, lived here all my life, and good people here. Good people. For sure. I think it's similar to the South. Been to the South a couple of times. of course, at the part of West Virginia I live in Morgantown. I can be in Pennsylvania in 10 minutes. I can be in Maryland in probably 20. So, and I can be in Ohio in probably an hour. Georgia seemed invincible, but now they have a single top 25 win. And I think Michigan is better in the trenches on both sides of the ball. It's close, man. Both teams have very, very good trenches, like offensive and defensive lines. So, yeah, man. Randy Moss, Jason Williams, yeah, they're both from West Virginia. Steve Harvey's from West Virginia. I don't know if you guys knew that. Steve Harvey, Family Feud. But yeah, Georgia seemed invincible, but they kind of got exposed a little bit against Alabama. So I'm leaning towards Michigan, I think. For my winner pick, I'm leaning towards Michigan. I think Caldwell's got him wound up. He's been waiting for this one, man. And I think Georgia's on a little bit of a low since that Alabama loss. We'll see how they come out. I could see it going either way. It's going to be a good one. Georgia versus Michigan, battle of average quarterbacks. These two teams really showed that college football has moved to high-scoring offenses. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that they need to get those. I think that McNamara is a better quarterback than Stetson Bennett, but I don't think it's like by a crazy amount. But I do think that Michigan's quarterback is better. Really wanting to go to a Marshall game at some point. I had a buddy that used to play baseball there and talks about how good the atmosphere is. Yeah, I mean, I like Huntington, West Virginia. It's a nice atmosphere there. I mean, it reminds me a lot of where I live now, Morgantown. It's very similar. But yeah, it's probably more chill down there than it is here, as far as the schools. But yeah, Marshall, I want to go to a Marshall game. I've actually never been to one, but yeah, I would definitely want to go to a Marshall game. A couple of top 25 wins actually, but none in the top 15. Yep, they had a couple. Yeah, it's interesting, you know. So their two top 25 wins were Clemson and Kentucky. As far as who's in the top 25 now, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Michigan. I think I'm with you. I'm definitely on their side as far as betting odds. I like them plus 7.5. I saw. Wait, you said. I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan won it. Me neither, man. I'm very close on it. I think I'm kind of rooting for Michigan, but I'm really just hoping for a good game either way. I saw a video of some Georgia fans who made a pretty good point about Kirby. Georgia got Kirby 2 years too early. Saban made the switch to more offense as opposed to all-star defense. Bama 31-13. Bama runs the ball by third to run clock. Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty good point. Maybe they got Kirby a couple years too early. You know, I don't know, man. It was looking like it was Georgia's year this year. But man, they got like exposed against Bama, like Georgia did, and if they make the national championship game, I don't think that they're gonna be able to beat Bama if they get a rematch at them. So yeah, Marshall is a cool school with a great story. It is a good school. I almost went there for college, but I go to WVU. I'm a student now. I almost went to Marshall. I really did. I mentioned that I'm waiting to go to one, and he said he'd fight me if I didn't tell him when I go. Wait, what? I mentioned that I wanted to go to one. Oh, okay, I got you here, buddy. Yeah, I definitely would love to go to a Marshall game. And they have a pretty good team this year, and I think next year Marshall is actually going to be pretty good. I think they're joining the Sun Belt Conference and leaving Conference USA, if I'm not mistaken. So that would be good for them. The Sun Belt's going to be a really good conference in the Group of 5 level. I bet on them straight up. Yeah, I think I'm taking that bet for Michigan for sure tomorrow. Marshall 75 is the only reason freshmen can play games now. Yes. Marshall has some really good history there and is a good school. I think Georgia versus Michigan is going to be a good game. Yes, it's definitely good. I hope it is. I could see it turning into a blowout either way, but I think it's more of a chance that it's going to be a close one. Said Pitt Snoggle. Yes, sir. WV basketball legend. Everybody loves Pitt Snoggle here. Everybody loves Pitt Snoggle. I knew the start of the season when I saw how bad the QB play was. The SEC East was weaker than most thought. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the quarterback level went down this year. I think it'll go back up soon because all the top quarterbacks that people thought were going to be like Heisman contenders this year just weren't that good. We had DJ from Clemson, Spencer Rattler, Sam Howell, who, just weren't up in the mix for the playoffs this year. So it's just kind of went down. And then you had Bryce Young, who broke out. CJ Stroud broke out. Kind of became those top guys. And, they're both freshmen. So maybe we'll go back to top quarterbacks being kind of the face of it, of the playoffs. So. I think UAB plays Marshall. Sunbelt is a really cool conference. It is a cool conference. I might try to go to a Marshall game next year. Could be fun. Hard to believe that the 75 NCAA rule. Yes. It's cool that they did that so Marshall could finish the season. I do know that story. It is a cool moment, and yeah. All right, peace out. Good luck tomorrow to Alabama. That's the Al Squire. Don't count us out, though. We've got some luck tattooed on our asses. You're going to need that luck tattooed on your asses, but I do think it could be a good team or a good game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. See you later, Cats by 90. Thanks for tuning in, my man. I appreciate it. I'm actually It's past midnight. I'm probably going to hop off the stream. We will be back at it next week sometime. Probably on Wednesday or Friday. I'll keep you guys tuned in. So, yeah. Thank you guys all for stopping by and talking to me in the chat. Cats by 90, Drake, Alice Squire, Sean. I appreciate you all tuning in and making it a stream because we couldn't have a stream without you all. So, yeah, we'll be back at it next week. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And, yeah, I'll see you guys. In my videos, I'll have them up. Reactions to the playoffs will be out New Year's Day. So, I'll see you guys then. Peace.